Hi, my name is Brittany Partridge, and I'm an attorney at Butler Kahn. Today I'm going to talk about how you afford an attorney when you are faced with a certain type of legal situation. And the option that you have really will depend on what type of case you are dealing with. So I'm going to start kind of broadly here. It is going to be a rare occasion that you're going to be required to hire an attorney to pursue or defend yourself. So no matter if you're facing a civil case or a criminal case, you do have the opportunity or the option to represent yourself, though it is never recommended. Just because attorneys go to law school, they spend time studying the law, they're required to do yearly trainings on the law and to stay competent in order to represent our clients to the best of our ability. So while you have the option to be what's called pro se or representing yourself, we always recommend that you hire an attorney to either defend yourself or to prosecute a case on your behalf. Now, if you do want to hire an attorney or need to hire an attorney, you have the two different types of cases which come with their own options. So first, if you have a civil case, which is going to be anything that's not criminal, so long as you're not facing criminal charges, you'll be dealing with a civil case. So that's going to be family law, so custody disputes, divorces, personal injury cases, boundary line disputes with your neighbor, or even a breach of contract case. All that's going to be grouped under the civil umbrella. And there are two main ways that you hire an attorney. One is going to be hourly, and most of the time you're going to have to put down a retainer, or basically a down payment on attorney's fees. It is not abnormal to see a $5,000 to $25,000 retainer required by civil attorneys. And then you will receive a monthly bill for the attorney's fees and expenses that are expended on your case. Now, that is not going to be the situation for cases that we handle. We handle all of our cases under what is called a contingency fee agreement, which basically means our clients do not have to put any money down, and they will not owe us any money unless we are able to recover money on their behalf or obtain a settlement offer on their behalf. And again, that means even if we go to trial and ultimately are not successful on our client's behalf, the client is not going to owe any money, even if that case took 5 years to prosecute, if we're not successful in obtaining money on their behalf. But if we are successful, and most of the time we are, almost all the time we are going to be paid through that contingency fee. So it's a percentage of the amount that's recovered on the client's behalf. A typical contingency fee is going to range anywhere from 33 to 45%, depending on the level of complexity. Medical malpractice cases, for example, are much more complex, and they are not as often successful just due to how tough they are in front of a jury and the standards that we have in place to prosecute those cases. That contingency fee might be a little bit higher, but whereas a car wreck case, which is most of what we handle, is going to be normally a lower contingency fee agreement, normally in that 33 to 40% range. Now, costs are also something that our clients are not going to ever have to pay up front. So if we have to hire experts, pay the courts money to file documents, pay money to obtain medical records, all of those expenses our firm will front on the client's behalf. So our client's not going to have to pay for any of that out of pocket until we are able to obtain a recovery on their behalf. So again, contingency fee, no money for the client up front, and only if there is a successful recovery on their behalf. Now, in a criminal case, you have really two options. It's going to be a hiring situation. So you're going to hire a private attorney who handles criminal cases, and they can either require a retainer or they can do what's called a flat fee agreement. So they could say, I will handle your case for $20,000, and that's whether I and resolve it tomorrow by going and talking to the DA, or if we have to go all the way to trial. Or an attorney might say, you're going to have to pay me hourly, and that's whether or not I resolve it tomorrow by talking to the DA, or we're going to go to trial and require some type of retainer agreement. Private criminal cases can be very expensive, and it's going to just depend on that private agreement with the attorney. Now, if you cannot afford an attorney, our Constitution requires that one is appointed for you. And so no matter what, an attorney will be appointed for you, but it may not be an attorney that you seek out. It's going to be somebody either from the public defender's office or from an appointed list. So in Gwinnett County, we have an appointed list, which is a list of attorneys who have signed up to be appointed criminal defense attorneys by the state, and they are paid by the county through the funds that's allocated to them for their work on that specific client's case. Now, like in Clayton County, they have a public defender's office. So the public defenders have all the cases that a person cannot afford an attorney. You're going to go straight to the public defender's office, and you know exactly who's going to be the ones that are working on your case. So again, it's going to be very different depending on your type of situation, the case that you are facing. The great thing about our types of cases here at Butler Kahn is that, not everybody can afford an attorney. And even if you are, legally qualified to hire one, not everybody can afford that extra $500,000, $5,000 a month that it would cost to hire an attorney. And that contingency fee agreement really allows equal access to the law there. So no matter what your financial status is, you can still hire an attorney whenever you're faced with a personal injury case or wrongful death case, because you're not going to have to put that money up front, and that the attorneys, like Butler Kahn, will put that on the line for you. So if you ever do find yourself in need of an attorney, and especially a personal injury or wrongful death type of case, we hope that you reach out to Butler Kahn.